All right, welcome to a special series of the Digital Barbell podcast. We are calling this the Digital Barbell Business Series. So the reason we want to do this is because we have kind of a passion for helping other people understand and grow their business. I think a lot of people have ambitions to start their own business. They maybe buy a website, find a name, open an Instagram, and just kind of expect the customers to come falling in. And we've learned a lot about business since, owning our own businesses ever since we were married.
Yeah.
And especially since starting Digital Barbell. So the point of this whole series will be to basically give business advice to aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners. But we thought this first episode, we would just focus on kind of an outline of things that we've learned are really important, things that we've learned over the years, mistakes that we've made, so that you can kind of shortcut your business success path.
Yeah, some like higher level things you can work on, and then in some future episodes we'll dig down deeper into maybe each of these points. But just let's give a little background on some of the things we've done. Like you said, we've basically, since we were married 20 years ago, we have owned several businesses together.
We had a real estate business.
Yeah, so we started in real estate. We remodeled houses.
House flipping back when flipping was just getting started.
Yes. And that went very well. We did that for quite a long time until the real estate market kind of crashed in 2009, which we kind of probably all remember that. From there, we went on to do a wedding photography business. So we had moved to Tennessee, and the real estate market wasn't panning out. So we dove into wedding photography. After that, I owned a CrossFit gym. And now we own Digital Barbell. We are online training and nutrition coaches.
I would say that the success that we've had in all those different businesses really was just due to hard work. When we decide we're going to do something, we're going to do it. We're going to work hard, maybe to a fault that we work too hard sometimes. But I feel like with Digital Barbell, it's been different because although we do work hard, we now understand business a lot differently than we did back then.
Yeah.
And I think all of those businesses that you just went through would have been a lot more successful, and probably we could have had a better work-life balance if we understood some things that we understand about business now. When we started Digital Barbell, we hired a mentor to who was already an online coach to kind of run our ideas by and basically tell us if we were crazy or not, and to basically tell us what we didn't even know we didn't know at that time. And, looking back, that was 4 years ago or 4 or 5 years ago. And then we recently went to another business mastermind kind of group. And honestly, I felt like we could have been up in front of that crowd teaching the mastermind and probably done a better job at it with what we've learned since then. Not that to take credit away from what we learned in the first place, but through time deliberately spent learning since then, I feel like we're on a different level than a lot of people are. And I don't say that to brag, just like anything that you decide to get better at and you educate yourself and you practice and you exercise discipline, you can get really good at it. And even within the first year of owning Digital Barbell, reminder that we started Digital Barbell and it wasn't making nearly enough money to pay for our living expenses at all. We were able to start earning over $10,000 a month within that first year to cover all of our living expenses. And we've continued to grow and hire employees and, not at the complete expense of our lifestyle in that process. So that's the point of this series, is to help other people do the same thing.
Right. To basically take your business from like a side hustle to a serious business, something that's actually making you money.
I like that title. How to take your online coaching business from side hustle to serious. Let's call it that. So in this episode, like I said, we're not going to dig deep into each one of these topics. We're going to kind of glaze over 6 things that we thought about. And then in future episodes, we'll go deeper into each one.
All right. So first tip is have a website.
Which I think a lot of people don't believe anymore. Like if you have an Instagram account and if you you're on
Instagram
social media
or Facebook,
you don't need a website.
It does not take the place of a website. I think if you look up any legitimate business and you're just curious to learn more about them, if you've heard from them from a friend or something, and you go and you look them up and it redirects you to a Facebook or something, to me immediately like levels them down. I don't take them as serious.
I would agree.
Yeah.
And then you're also not putting any information about yourself in a place that you own the rights to and that you can direct people to. We have full control over everything that's on our website, whereas social media, not so much. Plus just the depth of information that you can provide on a website. It gives you credibility.
Mm-hmm. And that's the biggest thing is like, we put a lot of stock into things that we put on Instagram and Facebook, but these are a lot of thought. But like, I mean, stock by meaning like we feel like these things will always be around, but they're not ours. They're not owned by us. And at any moment they can be taken down. And if that's the only place that all of our business information is, if Facebook decides to go out of business tomorrow, your business is gone off of the internet.
Yeah. That would be really bad.
Yeah.
And you don't have to start with something really fancy as far as a website goes too, but we'll get more into that in the specific episode on websites.
Yeah, and then more of these things that we're about to talk about, they are housed on your website. So this is even more reason to have one. So the second thing is to have a lead generator on your website with the capacity to store email addresses.
Yeah. This was probably one of the biggest eye-opening things that our mentor helped us with when we first started. Was we just figured, we would have a product that we wanted to sell. We would talk about it on social media and people would just kind of slowly trickle in and decide like, all right, I want to buy from these people.
Yeah.
But you have to give value to somebody in order for them to enter into that relationship with you so that they can become a long-term kind of raving fan and friend of your business. And the most common way and probably the best way to make that happen is develop a product that solves your ideal client's problem, a micro problem, something that gives them a ton of value with no ask in return other than their email address. Yeah. And what that does is get them a result, proves to them that you are the person that can help them. But then it also captures a way for you to start developing a relationship with that person over time.
So some examples of these that we've used are, free mini workout programs, free like nutrition guides, things that people will, it will pop up on the website when you go there. They'll enter in their email address and they'll instantly get something into their inbox. And these days, like giving out your email address is like a sacred thing. I think we all like
what are you going to do with my email address?
We open our emails and we open our email in the morning and mine is like, usually like 85 to 125 deep. And I'm just like, how does this happen?
Yeah.
And it's because so many things are taking our email addresses. And so it's a thing that people covet. Like, I want to get information from you.
You got to provide somebody some value. And like, we've done tons of these over the years and we're always still thinking like, what's a way we can give out some free value to bring people into our atmosphere so we can start to create a relationship with them.
Yeah. And so whatever you're selling, like, if we're selling workout program or online coaching, we're going to give them a taste of what it looks like to work with us. So we're going to give them a short program to follow, maybe like 2 weeks. We're going to give them some results and they're going to understand what it looks like to work with us and a little bit of our personality so that they will in turn decide if they want to work with us or not.
Yep.
All right. Next thing is email nurturing.
This goes hand in hand with that last one.
So they've gone to your website, something popped up, they wanted it, they entered their email address, they got it. And now you have their email address. And what do you do with it?
Picture this scenario. You're single and you're starting to date. You go to a bar and you're standing at the bar, minding your own business. And a guy walks up to you and is like, "Hey, I'm Jonathan. Nice to meet you. You want to get married?" And you're like, whoa, back up. This will be the equivalent of meeting a prospective client online for the first time and being like, "Hey,
Will you buy this?
Would you like to buy some coaching for me for a few $100 per month?
You don't even know me. You don't know anything about me, but would you like to buy from me?
Right. You have to have a way to develop a relationship with your prospective clients. Now, a lot of clients, as you build your business, will come from referrals, and that kind of shortcuts this process of email nurturing. But if you think email is dead, then we would love to educate you differently and prove to you that if we get a customer that's not from a referral, it's not unlikely that they've been receiving emails from us, which means that we've been nurturing our relationship, providing value for sometimes up to 2, 3, 4 years before they make a buying decision.
Yeah.
Which I love. I love when this happens because it's just proof that just like getting in shape, delayed gratification and doing the things even when you don't feel like it is the key to growing, the key to getting results.
Right.
Like, this is the reason that our business is successful, is because we know that just like going out to spend $1,000 on an ad one time is not the answer. It's to pour value in over the long term, even when motivation to do that stuff is kind of low.
And by that, you mean like writing 3 to 4 emails a week that you're sending out that people are getting value from.
And when we get into more with this topic, we'll talk about what kind of emails you should be sending to your to the list that you're nurturing. And you should always be trying to grow and nurture your list without asking for anything in return, so that when it does come time to ask for something, you've already been pouring into that relationship, and that person's much more likely to want to marry you because you've already gotten to know them and they already know, like, and trust you.
Yep. All right. Next one is social media presence with consistency.
This is something that we've experimented with a lot over the years. We've tried posting 3 times per day down to our current strategy of posting every other day.
Yeah, like 4 times per week.
Right. But the point is that in this day and age, you do need to have some sort of social media presence because it's a way for people to get to know you, number one, through short form content like your Instagram story, showing your true self, showing a slice of what your actual life is on there. Plus, it gives a way for your current clients and prospective clients to engage with you, to deepen the relationship, but then also to share your philosophy, things that they know about you, things they like about you with other people.
Right.
It just grows your network a little bit. But the goal, and I've been caught up in this in the past, the goal shouldn't just be to grow your follower count. There's tons of fitness influencer type people out there who have hundreds of thousands of followers and they're not making any money. I would rather have 2,000 to 3,000 Instagram followers and be making over $100,000 a year because I've poured into those relationships than just having the goal of vanity to get a blue check mark by our name, or to have, multiple tens of thousands of followers.
And this is down on the list for a reason, because it's not like if we're like, okay, I'm starting a business, number 1, Instagram account. No.
Right.
Number 1.
Go ahead and get your domain on there.
Yeah, no, number 1 is that website, and everything else we've already talked about, because like we said before, we don't own Instagram. Instagram is not controlled by us. We can spend 2 hours making what we think is the most hilarious, best, eye-catching reel in the world, and then it might not be shown to anybody. It's not up to us. We just are putting it up and we're leaving this into the hands of others. And so that's what we've really found about social media, is that time spent here is, I don't want to say wasted, but not as beneficial as time spent creating blogs, creating content on emails, creating other longer form
YouTube
content
videos
that does not go on social media, because social media is a swipe and gone. It is not lasting.
Yeah, it's what we call short tail content. We want long tail content that will last a long time.
And in our experience, the clients that we've gotten, the least, like if we were to like have a pie chart of like where we get clients, I would say the smallest little sliver would be from social media.
Absolutely.
Our clients might be on social media and interact with us, but they've usually found us through referrals, through our website, through our podcast, through other sources. And then they've also then followed us on social media.
Right.
And that's where they we spread inside jokes, like through the story, just think like that's where you do nurture your relationship, but it's definitely not the most important thing. And where we now have learned that is not the place that we want to spend most of our time.
Yeah. And when we do an episode, especially on social media, we'll talk about how do you turn the people that find you on social media into the person that you can nurture.
Yeah.
That should be the goal.
All right. Next one is offer at a price that makes you money. So
we almost screwed this up big time. Sorry. Were you going to tell the story?
Well, we thought that when we started Digital Barbell, my, idea was that I'm going to write a workout a day and sell it for like, $20 a month. And
we would get tens of thousands of people eventually. That's how we were going
to make money.
Right.
And luckily we were steered in the proper direction from that. And that price would not have sustained us. And
right.
we wouldn't still be a business today.
Yep. We would be out of business or doing something else right now. And we'll get into more like how to price your offer and what your offer should be. But the goal overall should be to, number one, be a really good coach. Number two, develop a product that takes advantage of your skill set and the people that you want to help. And then to price it in a way that makes sense to actually turn this from a side hustle into a business.
Yeah.
Your pricing can't be based on what you can afford. Your pricing can't be based on what you think other people are charging. It has to be based on what's going to make this a living for you. And then how do you level up your ability to get clients results to the price that you need to be charging to make this turn into a full-time job for you?
Yeah, I mean, it can't be something that's so outrageous that no one will sign up for.
Right.
But it also shouldn't be so cheap because you just think that will get you 1,000 clients instantly.
And like I said, the first thing in this is you have to be a really good coach to justify having prices that can turn this into a full-time job for you.
Right. All right, last one is you need an ideal client to talk to.
You need a niche, basically. I would say this is going to be an evolution for pretty much any business. Nobody's going to nail this right off the bat. But the point is, if you're for everybody, you're for nobody. You can't just think that you're going to help everybody. And your messaging out to the world can't be that you're going to help everybody, or nobody's going to believe that you can help them.
Yeah.
This is why we've kind of settled into talking to people who want to change their physique and they want to do it in a sustainable way. We're not trying to advertise that we're turning people into marathoners, that we're helping people run the fastest mile time ever. We're helping people who want to look like they work out. They value the relationship with a coach, and we talk to people who are like us that maybe have done CrossFit in the past and liked a lot about it, but want a little bit different balance that doesn't burn them out so much.
Yeah. And I think this is a scary thing to think about because when you're beginning a business, you think I will take anybody. I will absolutely take anybody. And it's not to say that you're going to be turning people away, because we have helped people, for example, run marathons. Yep. We have that ability as coaches to help people both strength train and train for running a marathon. But it's not our target client, so we don't talk about running marathons in our daily, on our website and in our social media.
Yeah. And another thing just to tie into this is when you are thinking about who your ideal client is, you have to remember that the messaging that you put out there is going to attract that person. So I think it's tempting when you're thinking, okay, I'm in the content game. I need to nurture people. I need to post to social media. Your brain automatically goes to what's going to touch the most people at once, what's going to resonate with the most people. And oftentimes that's like the lowest level content, meaning it's people who are struggling with the very base things.
They haven't started yet. They're like, okay, it's like I think back in the CrossFit days, it's like you go from the couch to walking in the gym door. We're sitting on the couch. We haven't started anything yet. And we want to make you walk into the gym.
So part of building a successful business that provides for you is figuring out the balance of content that does meet people where they are, but doesn't attract the lowest level client that maybe isn't even ready to commit at that time. You have to be confident that you're going after the person that you feel like you want and can help the best.
Yeah, and this varies obviously based on your business.
Right. Okay, this is a great little start. I'm excited about this series. We haven't picked the increment for when these are going to come out yet, but we would love to know your thoughts on this. If you like this topic, if you want more of this kind of stuff, and we'll be happy to oblige. Leave us a comment if you're watching this on YouTube. Let us know which topics you're most interested in, and we'll put some extra focus on that too.
All right.
All right. Have a good day.